What's up, guys? Should you offer a guarantee? Well, I've spoken about this before, but I want to revisit this conversation to give you some clarity with your service or coaching offer. All right, guys, welcome back. Yuri, Elkaim here, founder and CEO of Healthpreneur. We help health professionals get clients and scale their businesses online, specifically in the realm of coaching. And I was on a podcast yesterday, and the interviewer was asking me my thoughts on guarantees. So I want to share with you what I shared with him because I think it's maybe contrarian to what you may have seen or heard before. And I just want to kind of postulate my opinion on this. Again, this is all just based on my experience, right? So remember, in the context of a coaching agreement, we're not selling widgets, right? We're not selling little, toys and products that if they're defective, you can send back, right? It's a little bit of a different scenario. So if you're selling a product, I'm not talking specifically about that in this video. Obviously, we can talk about that at another time. So what I want to talk about here is in the context of a coaching relationship, should you offer a guarantee when you're speaking with a prospective client? So I'm going to give you 3 scenarios, okay? So scenario number 1 may not apply to you as a health professional as much, but this is more for like agencies as an example. If you have 100% ownership over the outcome, then you should have a very strong guarantee. Right? I promise you I will get results or you don't pay. Because now you have 100% control over that outcome. So let's keep that to the side for a second, because if you don't control the outcome, i.e. in a coaching relationship, then you can't guarantee the outcome because your client has to show up and do the work, right? So it really kind of like you show up, they show up, right? Like you have to meet each other halfway. So if that's the case, and you may have seen this before, people have asked you like, do you have a guarantee? So I want to give you 2 ways of approaching this, okay? So understand that what happens when we are making a buying decision is we're always looking to mitigate risk. So if someone is coming to you, let's say they don't really know who you are, or they haven't followed you, or you haven't been around for a long time. So inherently, their decision to work with you has a higher amount of risk because they're stepping into an unknown relationship. Now, if you're, Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie, there's an inherent amount of trust there based on the fact that you're a celebrity, right? So guarantees at that level become less important for most people. But for most of us, we're relatively unknown to most of the people in our market. So when they come to possibly working with you, there's this thought in the back of their head, which is, well, what if this doesn't work? Can I trust this person? Are they really good at what they do? So naturally, some people ask if there's a guarantee. And let me give you 2 ways of addressing this, right? So number 1 is if you're a little bit newer in your journey, then it could be a good idea to have a guarantee, because what you're essentially saying is, I understand you're a bit apprehensive of working with me. At the same time, I'm not 1,000,000% confident in my ability to deliver yet. Now, if you are, just put this aside for a second, okay? But let's say you're a little bit newer in your journey and you're working with clients and you don't have that level of Yuri conviction yet. Okay? So in that case, it might make sense to have a guarantee which says something on the lines of, listen, we'll work together for the next 12 weeks, whatever the time frame is. If you don't achieve this specific results, I'll work with you for an additional couple months free of charge, or I'll give you back half of your money. Or if you even want to really put your money where your mouth is, I will give you, all your money back, okay? So naturally, it decreases the risk that the client has in possibly working with you. Now, at the same time, if you're going to make any kind of money back guarantee in a coaching relationship where they have to show up and do the work, it's imperative you have conditions. And you want to think of what those conditions are going to be. And when I say conditions, I'm really talking about 2 or 3 things that need to be present, because if the client meets those conditions, the likelihood that they would call in the guarantee for like a refund, for instance, is almost zero. So this is something I speak with our clients about quite often because, many of our clients don't offer a guarantee, which I'll talk about in a second, but many of them do. And so if you're saying to someone, we're going to work together for the next 12 weeks, let's use weight loss as an example. And if you don't lose 20 pounds, I'll give you your money back and I'll actually double it. So I'll send you twice your investment back. Now, if you can make that kind of guarantee, I promise you more people are going to say yes to working with you. That is a very strong guarantee, but you have to make sure that they do the work. So when you think about the three conditions or two or three conditions, you want to think of what absolutely must happen, whereby if the client did this, did these two or three things, it would be impossible for them to fail. So if someone wants to lose weight, one of the conditions might be you have to do the workouts 4 times a week. Let's say, exercise is part of the program. And there obviously needs to be a way of, keeping you accountable to that or tracking that in some way, shape, or form. If they don't do the workouts, then the guarantee is off the table, right? Let's say you have a meal plan and specific recipes that they would follow. They would have to incorporate those, like eat these exact recipes, post a picture, whatever, once a day, once a week to show, the stuff you're making. You can't micromanage this, obviously, but there's a certain level of integrity and trust, hopefully, that the client has to say, like, yeah, I followed the recipes, I did the workouts, and somehow my physiology is different from every other human being on the planet, and it just didn't work. Really? So the idea, the nice thing when you're talking about health and wellness and fitness is that it's close to impossible for someone not to make improvements if they do the work. If someone comes to you and they want to run a 5K and they've never run before, then it's very simple. Follow this plan over the next 2 to 3 months. You will run a 5K. It's physically impossible not to, unless you broke a leg, if you follow this plan. That's the beauty and the simplicity of the human body, is it's guaranteed to improve if you follow a structured plan. So you have to think about what are the conditions that need to be in place, whereby if your client met those conditions, you could make the most ridiculous guarantee on the planet. You could say something along the lines of, I am so confident in my ability to help you get a result that I'll give you 10 times your money back if you don't. Now, in that case, it might not make sense because they might actually be more interested in getting 10 times their money back than the actual result they came to you for. But at the very minimum, I think a money back guarantee is fine, right? So let's say they pay you $4,000. You're like, cool. If you don't get the result, I will send you $4,000 back plus interest, let's say for the amount of time that you could have put that money into something else. That's a compelling guarantee, but I've got 3 conditions. You have to do this, this, and this. And that can't be show up on the calls, or post inside the Facebook group. Like, those can happen, but they could just sit on the couch and do that stuff. So you really want to think of what do they have to do action-wise that's going to make the difference. And every business and every offer is a bit different, okay? If you can craft a guarantee like that, man, you'll have no problems getting people to say yes, okay? So that is one. Now you can offer that type of guarantee no matter how far you are in your journey. You could be doing this for already 20 years, and you're the best in the industry. You still want to make this kind of guarantee. It is going to work like gangbusters. Okay, so that's option 1. You'll get more yeses. Option 2 is you offer no guarantee. And again, it depends on the nature of, remember, a lot of decisions you make in your business are going to be philosophical. How do you want your business to run, right? It also might depend on the nature of what you're helping people do. Maybe you don't feel as confident that even if they met those conditions that they would be able to reach results, which again, shouldn't really happen. But anyways, our whole approach at Healthpreneur, we do not offer, we have 2 guarantees. We have a 0% money back guarantee, which is the worst guarantee of all time in terms of risk for the prospective client. And the second one is your results are your responsibility guarantee. So what that means is that essentially everything is on you as the client. Here's the way to think about this is, and again, I'm just for the sake of context, I know that for us, we have a solution that people need more than we need their money, right? So like, I'm not going to bend over backwards to, hopefully get people into our program. That's just philosophically the decision we've made. Not to say that you have to do that, but we have many clients that also offer a very similar guarantee where it's like, listen, it's an exclusivity play. I don't want to work with people who are looking for the exit door before they jump on the plane, right? And that's something that we're very, very firm about in our enrollment process. And if someone is not committed to getting the results, there's not much we can do about that, right? Don't come to us if you're expecting us to do all the work for you, right? That's not going to happen. So it might be similar with you. And you might have a similar stance to say like, listen, like if you want to achieve these results, that's awesome, right? I'm going to tell you what, your guarantee is you, because I know how I'm going to show up. I don't mess around. I've been doing this for a long time. We've helped X number of clients, right? That's what you would say. But I don't necessarily know how you're going to show up. So quite honestly, I'm taking a risk taking you on as a client, because if you don't get the results, that looks bad on me, doesn't it? So if someone asks you for a guarantee, you can almost ask them what their guarantee is. So if they say, okay, so let's just say I'm a coach helping someone with weight loss. They say, okay, Yuri, what's your guarantee? I might say, great question. I'll get to that in a second. Do you mind me asking, what's your guarantee? They're going to say, what are you talking about? I'm going to say, well, listen, I've been at this for a long time and my reputation is very important to me. And I want to be very sure that I take on the right clients, because I'm not here to take people's money. I'm here to get people results. So if I were to bring you on as a client, what's the guarantee that you're going to do the work and actually get the results? See the difference there? I've put it right back on them. And all of a sudden now they have to sell me. And I'm thinking, I don't know, okay? They have to sell you on why they can become a great client. Because at the end of the day, it's really, if you choose to take this approach of like no guarantee, you are your guarantee, then it's all about them, right? And that's, guys, between us, isn't that the truth? Like when you want clients that are committed, you need to be working with people who understand they have to take ownership over their results and their life. So if someone comes in and they're expecting you to create miracles for them, that's a nightmare client. You want to have clients coming into your business who understand they have to show up. They have to understand that reading the latest diet book is not the solution. They understand they've done that stuff before. They can't take a pill and get amazing results. So when you use the exclusivity play of like, tell me why I should work with you, all of a sudden they're selling you on why you should work with them and why they'd be an amazing client. And then it's up for you to decide if you want to bring them on. So that is one way of positioning a non-guarantee so that more of the onus is on the client. Because at the end of the day, they could say like, do you have any social proof for what other people have done? Like, yeah, I've got hundreds of testimonials, but what difference does that make? All that's basically telling us is that they don't believe at some level in you, or maybe they don't believe in themselves, right? Because you'll often hear this, like, do you have any other, like, do you have some social proof or testimonials or people I can speak to who've gone through this? Like, yeah, I could, but like, what difference will that make for your results? Yeah, like I've gotten in shape going to the gym, but if I went to the gym, does that mean you're going to get in shape? Not at all. So it's about helping people understand that if you went to school, if there's 100 people in a class, do they all get the same grades? No. Do they have the same textbook, the same professor, the same curriculum? Exactly. So what's the difference? Each individual student. And if you have this conversation with your prospective clients, the right ones will be like, that makes sense. And if they still don't see the value in what you're offering and they still have tremendous amounts of skepticism, here's what you say. Thanks so much for your time. I wish you all the best. That's it. Because you're coming from a place of abundance. So you know that when that person's gone, another better person's going to come right into their spot. So that's my take on guarantees, guys. I hope it makes sense. Let me know what you like about that or dislike about that in the comments below. And if you're watching this on YouTube, remember to subscribe to the channel because I've got hundreds of other videos to help you grow a thriving virtual health practice. Thank you for your time. I'm Yuri. I'll see you soon.